Okay, so yesterday, right here, 5.3, talked about the difference between relations and functions, again. We talked about the vertical line test. All right, I made y'all's quiz already for Friday, for tomorrow. There's quite a few things from 5.3 on there, and 5.2. All right, so make sure you understand the vertical line test. If it crosses anywhere on your graph itself more than one time, it is not a function. Okay? So even if, let's say, and you don't have to write this, let's say the graph was like something weird like that, and then it went like this. If you were, and that's your graph, yes, vertical line test only, crosses it one time here and here and here, right? But right here, how many times does it cross?
3.
Yeah. 1, 2, 3. So more than one, correct? So this would not be a function. So even though it can only cross one time here and here and etc., if anywhere in the graph it can cross more than once, it is not a function. Okay, then we talked about how to write domains, and we talked about that the other day. Here, we talked about how to substitute. Here's your equation. There is a question like this on the quiz. You put that there. Here's your x's. You go through, and you find your ordered pairs. Okay? Yes, this is a function. All right, we started working in the book. The last one we did, we had just started 13. Okay, pay very close attention to 13. It says represent each function as a set of ordered pairs and graph the functions. Okay, represent each function as a set of ordered pairs and graph the function. All right, so we're going to do like we did on that other one. Here is your equation. We're going to go ahead, and this is what we did last time. We're going to make the table. I'm just going to go ahead and put y over here instead. Taylor, do you have a question about this? Well, of course you can. You're going to have to write. Okay, so again, we take our x's right here that they gave us, and we're going to stick them in that little area of the table. So I have -1, 0, and 1. All right, so we're just going to replace each x in here. Guys, piece of advice, don't try to do this in your head. Write every single thing out, because this is a very easy equation. You're not going to always have easy equations. All right, so 3 times -1 is -3. 3 times 0 is 0. And 3 times 1 is 3. All right, so now we just write out our ordered pairs. -1 and -3. 0 and 0. 1 and 3. I'm going to stop there, let y'all catch up, and you tell me if you have any questions before I move on. Because what I do next, very, very important that you write everything that I write next and pay attention. All right, so now in the directions it says and graph. So this time they didn't ask just for the ordered pairs. We're going to have to graph this. So I'm going to freehand a Cartesian plane. This is my y, this is my x. -1 and -3. So I have -1, 1, 2, 3. 0 and 0. And then 1 and 1, 2, 3. Basically, this is your answer. Once you have that, put your pencils or pens down. I'm going to add some information to this that you need to write down and take notes. So once you have your graph, that would be your answer. Once you have your graph, put your pencils or pens down. Whose big black pack is that on that desk? Can you put it down, please? I can't, between that and Gabby's head, I can't see Taylor's wonderful face. Okay. All right. Notice I did not connect the dots. Believe it or not, that is important. If you went ahead and just connected them, even though I didn't, your answer would technically be wrong. Okay? So, add this. Don't connect the dots. Because, and I know you're not supposed to start a sentence with because, but this is math. Because they gave specific x's. Don't connect the dots because they gave specific x's. Look right here. They gave you these. They gave you those. They told you, use these x's here. Use this domain. Therefore, they were very specific what they wanted you to do. So you do not connect the dots because they gave you specific x's.
Can you go back up to where it shows the... Oh, wait, actually.
Does everyone understand that? If they give you the x's to use, you do not connect the dots. Everyone got that? When you're done, put your pencil down so I know you're done. All right. Number 17 is the last one we're doing. 17. This time, the directions say make a table of ordered pairs and graph each function. Then state the function's domain and range. So guys, you need to read the directions. That's why I'm doing an example for each section so that if you don't remember what you're supposed to do, you got the example. So 17 says make a table of ordered pairs, then graph it, then state the function's domain and range. There's a lot to do here. We got to get the ordered pairs, figure those out. Well, first we got to choose x's. Then we've got to figure out the ordered pairs. Then we have to graph it. Then we have to state the domain and range. All right, here we go. All right, there is our problem. Notice, here's the equation. In comparison to this one, 13, where they gave us the x they wanted to use, did they do that here, Cecilia? No. Y'all done stuff like this before. You get to choose. You get to choose your x's. So many jokes going through my head right now. Okay. Unfortunately, we don't always get to choose our x's. All right. So our equation.
You get the joke.
It's a bad one, I know.
It's funny, just like you said.
Okay. So notice, 13 and 17 have the similar equation. Similar, it's the same thing. It's nice and neat. But we're still going to do this. So here we get to choose our own x's. How many do I usually say you should do? 3 or more, right? So 3 is a good number. 5 is more complete. Okay? 5 is more complete, especially in Algebra 1. 3 is minimum. 5 is more complete. Now, I'm going to choose my go-to. Unless you've got a fraction, like a third or something in the equation, you've got to choose multiples of 3 or something to help you out. I always have my go-to numbers. -2, -1, 0, 1, and 2. Unless they don't work well, like I said, with whatever your equation is, I'm choosing random x's. I'm going to put chose random x's. They did not give those to you. Do you have to use those every time? No. Those are my go-tos. Okay, so now we're going to just do like we did before. Substitute. And y'all do it as well. I'll let you catch up. Off to the side, you need to write your ordered pairs. When doing these problems, be very neat and detailed and show all work. Okay, so the first step is make a table, choose your x's, get your ordered pairs. We did that. Then it says to graph. And I have -2, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. And then 1, 2, 3, 0, 0, 1, 2, 3, 2, 5, 6. And this time, we connect.
I know what else suddenly attended.
So we got our ordered pairs. We got our graph. That's my box.
Looks more like a circle, but yes.
Okay. The reason that we connected this time connect connect dots because they didn't give specific x's. So you're going to connect dots because they didn't give specific x's. Yes, sir.
If we don't connect the dots on this, would it be wrong?
Yes. Bless you. That's why this is so important. And it's going to be hard to remember. Okay, but if they do not give you specific x's and you have to come up with your own, you connect the dots. If they give you specific x's, you do not connect the dots. So then they say, what is the domain and range? State the domain and range. Taylor?
For the range, do we just put like what they gave us to find out the range?
Well, notice they didn't give us specifics. So it could be any x that we chose. So then what is the domain then for this specific problem? Anyone want to guess?
X.
Well, that's what we're looking for. What are they? What?
Anything?
Anything, and we write that as a big ol' R, meaning all real numbers.
So I get to draw the fancy R.
Yeah, draw the fancy R. And then your range would be what? Taylor?
R times 3.
Times 3?
Isn't that the thing we use for this problem? 3R.
No, your range. What are all the y's for this graph?
R.
It's again R.
R.
Because guys, do you see this arrow? Goes on and on and on and on and on forever. So it's going to cover eventually all the x's and all the y's. Where this one, look back at 13. Look back at 13. They gave us specific x's, right? So if they were to say, what's the domain here? What would the domain here be? Raise your hand. What?
-1, 0, and 1.
Yep. What would the range be? Gabby? That's right. Because they gave you specific x's, so we have just these 3 ordered pairs. So the domain for this problem, this graph, are these specific x's and these specific y's. Whereas this one, because they did not give us specific x's, it could go on and on and on and on forever. So it's all real numbers. Do y'all see the difference?
I have a question.
Yes.
I'm just gonna double check. So if they give you the x's, you do not connect, and then
Correct. Don't connect the dots because they gave you specific x's. Make sense? All right. Any questions? All right. You are going to be doing page 196. Yeah. Numbers. Let me see. Trying to decide. Hold on. 2 through 20 even. I got just my stuff there. Oh no. And I'm gonna make y'all work. 46, 48, 50. Due Friday. You have a quiz tomorrow.
Question.
Over 5.1 to 5.3. And that's going to be for everyone. All right. You may get to work.
Question.
Hold on.